Hello and welcome back to the TVBinges.com Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. I'm Kyle Tremblay, the editor of TVBinges.com, and I am joined as always by a fellow TV Binges writer. She's popping in tea like it's candy. It's Olivia Richards. Hello.
Hey.
Oh, Olivia, we are talking about our second action sci-fi film adaptation to premiere as a TV series in as many nights. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Yes. TV is now just trolling through the old sci-fi action movies to find series to make. This one premiered on CBS last night and is titled Limitless. Olivia, what did you think?
This is too many.
Too many?
Oh god, the show is it was just forgettable. We just talked about Minority Report yesterday, which I guess aired Monday. I don't know. We're now, having this trend where we're bringing back, I guess, major film kind of sci-fi thriller action things. But it's that same trend where it's a person is given special powers through a drug or some sort of government operation, and then they help the police solve crimes as they're happening or before they're happening. Oh,
yes.
But why?
a well-trodden genre in modern TV. So we've talked now, this is our sixth pilot we've talked about since the season started 2 nights ago.
Yep.
And I've given the first 5 thumbs down. But I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, Limitless, my first thumbs up of the season!
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I don't disagree with anything you just said.
This is gonna be my 1 thumbs down.
Yes. This is great. This is like Empire and Scorpion.
Oh,
the inexplicable shows that I like, even though you like 90% of shows and I hate 90% of shows, this is in the 10% that both I like and you hate. So,
this is fantastic.
I don't think this show was good. I'm going to say that right up front. I'm going to get that out of the way right away. But here's what I'll say. First of all, our old friend from Manhattan Love Story back in our lives. Were you happy to see him?
This is why I'm so surprised that you're giving it a thumbs up. I thought he was such a douche, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, Manhattan Love Story is one of the 3 or 4 pilots that you and I have talked about that we continue to bring up as an example of bad pilots. It's
up there with mixology.
Yes,
and...
it's that and mixology are really our main go-tos. You know, those are our 2 big ones as examples of failed pilots that really miss the mark. So his name is Jake McDorman, and I'll tell you what, I thought this pilot kind of redeemed him. I really enjoyed him in this pilot. I'll tell you that right up front. I thought he was generally likable. I liked his dumb voiceover. I thought in general he was just fine. And I mean, the real reason I liked it is Bradley Cooper is on my TV screen. What up, B. Coop?
There was a reason.
What up, B. Coop? I was movie star on TV doing a CBS procedural talking about what it's like to remember when he was in his mother's womb. I was like, whoa!
Was awful. And then
Cooper!
The baby started talking.
Yes! Most ridiculous sequence of the season so far.
What just happened to my eyes? What did I just see?
Olivia, I'll tell you what. I was on the fence until that scene, and then I gave it a thumbs up based on that scene.
Oh my god.
I mean, I guess, for me, there's a real sweet spot with procedurals, where this show also features Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter, Deb from Dexter, and it's I would describe as a very competent procedural, which a lot of shows are. You know, it's I think it gets through its material just fine. It explains its premise okay. In a lot of the same ways that I thought Minority Report was last night, but the difference to me is first of all, there were elements of Minority Report that the presentation wasn't competent, I felt like. Whereas I felt like this was sort of all the way through just fine. There was nothing about this that made me question the premise of the show. And then you had some really stupid stuff like that Bradley Cooper scene that it's like I don't know, like I feel like in 3 months I'm not gonna remember anything that happened in any of these pilots, but I'm gonna remember Bradley Cooper talking about what it was like to be in his mother's womb. Like I'm gonna remember that like crazy CGI ultrasound image of the
Oh
baby talking.
God.
Like that's gonna stay with me for years. And you know what? If a dumb procedural can give me that, like it can make itself memorable, then I'm on board. Sign me up. That's
Every other show now has to include something like that.
yes.
If there's a way to fit in someone having like an ultrasound where they can recall how they remembered it and the baby can like voice along,
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, this for people who haven't seen it or who don't know, who aren't familiar with the kind of middling movie that is based on. Um, what we have is Jake McDormand as Brian Finch, who is a sort of like slacker loser whose family is disappointed in him, who's about to put out his album on SoundCloud, um, who uses the royal we to refer to his solo project. And through a series of crazy coincidences that seem to come about really fast, he is given the drug NZT, which opens up all your neural pathways and lets you use 100% of your brain instead of 10%, and but with the side effect of killing you within a year. Um, but so he takes that drug, he becomes super smart, he is accused of murder, yada yada.
Yada yada.
Eventually, he's abducted by Bradley Cooper, who is, of course, the star of the film Limitless, and now running for president, President Cooper. He's got my vote. And who shows him a way to subvert the side effects of the drug, so that he can just be super smart without dying. And then Jennifer Carpenter, the FBI agent, mistakenly believes that he is just naturally immune to the NZT side effects, and that therefore he is special, when in reality he's only immune because of this treatment that Bradley Cooper's given him. And so he's a sort of double agent who has now been recruited into the FBI to solve crimes, but is being sort of shadow puppeted by Bradley Cooper. So I paid attention to this one way more than I pay attention to most pilots.
That was a very detailed summary, and actually cleared up a few things for me because I was like kind of stumbling around, like not knowing what was happening from the pilot.
Olivia, I can't even tell you how in I was on this pilot. Like there's
No.
even before B. Coops showed up, I was just in on it. Like I was like, wow, this is the continuing story of the Manhattan love story guy. Like, he was such a jerk, it didn't surprise me at all that he would end up as, like, a failed musician. So it's like, oh, this is perfect. This is the sequel to, forget the sequel to Limitless, this is the sequel to Manhattan Love Story.
Oh my god, he went from being a trophy salesman to being a secret double agent with unlimited brain power.
Look, that's what NCT does, it changes your life.
Which no one can accuse him of from Manhattan Love Story, the unlimited brain power.
Exactly. His character before the NCT was exactly as dim as I remembered him in Manhattan Love Story. So it worked out.
Which is probably why he needed to do the voiceover. I hated the voiceover so much. I hated it. It drove me insane. Oh my god! It was like literally every scene. Like he was like it's basically like having someone like take you by the hand and they're like, okay, boys and girls, like now he's doing this. Now I'm doing this. Okay, this is happening. And like at one point he's talking to himself, which was strange. Oh my god, it was like, but then it was like, I feel like it had like that weird thing from like Sherlock Holmes. Because like he would be like, oh, okay, well I'm gonna prepare to do this and this and this, and it worked in that. But then you have Sherlock Holmes like douchier cousin, like who's like, all right, like let's do this now. I guess I have like special powers, and my dad's dying, and I'm gonna like take this pill, and now I'm gonna tell you everything I'm doing step by step.
Again, I do not disagree with you on any of that. Tell you up front. The only thing I disagree with you about is that was bad. Because this is the kind of voiceover that starts with, "Hi, my name's Brian." It's like that level of voiceover.
It was so. Oh my god.
And the voiceover, like, it wasn't like just for the intro, it just like kept up throughout the episode. It's like, I'm crossing the street now. Better not try that again. It's the dumbest voiceover.
It was like my besides like the laugh track, like the overused ridiculous canned laughter, like I think that happens to be like the bane of my existence in television shows when they have like the ridiculous, like, all right, the audience is probably full of dumb people, so we're gonna aid you through this because you're probably not gonna follow it on your own.
Oh yeah. Oh no. This show. What I like here is that this is the rare show that doesn't respect the intelligence of its audience, but is actually secretly dumber than its audience, which is what I really like. Like, there's a real sweet spot for me there, where this show thinks I'm very dumb, but it's actually dumber than I am, and so I can look down on it. But it's like the bully that can't beat anyone up. I don't know. Like, in terms of unintentional comedy, that's really the sweet spot for me. So.
Oh my god!
So I had a blast. I was in on this, man. I was following the plot. I was taking notes. I was ready to go. I mean, just the thought that like Bradley Cooper might show up every 4 or 5 weeks just to like be menacing and say ridiculous things. I'm all about that. Again, like I want to figure out what kind of adventures our old friend Jake McDormand from Manhattan Love Story is going to go on. I like seeing Deb again from Dexter, playing her role very straight. She thinks she's in a much more serious series than she's in.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, for me, 100% home run, thumbs up. Do you think this show did a 1.8 into the demo, which is not good, but 9.8 million viewers overall, which is pretty good, which means that the audience for this show was old people, basically. So, yeah. Do you think this one's going to be canceled quickly, make it through the season, or renewed for next season?
Based on the executive team behind this, I'm thinking it's going to go for the season. I'm not sure if it's going to be renewed, but it has a really, really good production team behind it. So I'm thinking it's going to at least go that far.
Yeah. My head says it's going to be one season. It just feels like it's going to be one season. But my heart says 5 seasons.
Oh my God.
And I'm going with my heart. This is my first 5-season prediction. 5 seasons of Limitless.
Oh my god.
Olivia, final verdict. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh my god. I'm laughing through it, but I can't with the show. It's a thumbs down for me, but it's at least amusing.
Well, needless to say, 2 thumbs enthusiastically up for me. My first thumbs up of the season. I'm so happy. I thought we might not get through all season with me giving a thumbs up. Thank goodness for B. Coops and Limitless.
You need to watch the show regularly and hashtag it with that.
Oh, I do.
Just every episode.
I mean, I'm gonna be watching it regularly, so that's an easy fix.
Yeah, so you're good.
All right. Well, you've been listening to The Pilot Roundtable, a TVBenches.com and Southgate Media Group production. You can listen to all of our episodes on iTunes, where you can rate and review us. We'd appreciate that. Or find us at SouthgateMediaGroup.com. Follow Olivia on Twitter at RichardsOlivia, and me on Twitter at KyleLutzTV. Till next time.